land, the creation of the earth, the people who continue to live here and the ancestors of the land. My old people walk with me every day and remind me to walk with care and respect on whosever country I might be travelling across. And so my old people remind me today to think respectfully and to walk with care on this land of the Wongal and the Wiradjuri people. It also reminds me to think of who I might know who's walked here before me, and this is where I'm actually a bit lucky. I presently live on Wongal country down by the Cooks River, just a little south of here. And I live on the Cooks River on Wongal country, and that's Bennelong's country. So I'm quite pleased to be able to remember Bennelong, a man who was very involved in one of the first sustained meetings of some of our people in 1788. I'm also really lucky to be able to think about Bennelong because Bennelong was great mates with a bloke called James Squire who came out on the first fleet. And we mostly see his name on little beer labels these days, and that's a good part of his story. But the really privileged claim that I can make is that James Squire is my great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather through my mother's side. So on this country here, when I think about those who've walked before me, I think about the ancestors of Wongal and Wiradjuri, and I can think about my own ancestors, which also then reminds me to say, my old people say hello to all your old people who are travelling with you here today too. And I think that's really important, that all of our people are here. We're all belonging to this country now. My Wiradjuri country, 250 miles west of here, is a beautiful little town called Narramine. Nara is our Wiradjuri word for honey. Mayan is people. Narramine are the honey people. I have with me a little bit of country today. These are the tips of the gum nuts that flower on our trees along Wombool, the river that marks the northern border of Wiradjuri country. We still go out there and sit under the trees and collect the gum nuts and climb the trees, and we can still get our beautiful honey that our beautiful bees still make. The bees are able to do that because our Wombool, the Macquarie River, is still alive and flourishing. It's feeding the trees and it's feeding me, and that's beautiful to remember. My country is defined by the western courses of Wombool, the Macquarie River, Kalar, the Lachlan River, and Wiradjuri, the Wiradjuri River. Knowing that those rivers still flow across our country is important to my heart and important to my being, because just as Wiradjuri people are still flowing around the country, so our rivers still flow across our land. I live on Wiradjuri, the Cooks River now, and so part of my responsibility as a Wiradjuri woman off country is to look after this country here as I would look after my own. I look after the Cooks River in many ways. I go out and say hello to it every morning. I belong to the Cooks River Valley Association, which is all Cooks River people caring for country. I would like to be able to swim in the Cooks River one day. I did swim in the Cooks River last May, accidentally, when I fell off my kayak. But when I was doing that, I was caring for country in my Wiradjuri way. I was out trying to help. I was out helping to find a pelican and unwrap him from the metres of fishing line that were preventing him from spreading his wings. I was trying to think like a pelican as I paddled my kayak. I don't know. I'm an inland person and I'm a freshwater, muddy water person. I can't think like those big saltwater birds, which is probably how I fell off. But I look after country. I look after all of the inhabitants of my Wongal country here as best I can, just as I look after my own country. So I come here this afternoon to acknowledge this country, to acknowledge the ancestors in the spirit of place, to acknowledge your old people and all of you who are here caring for country too. I bring you some rainwater out of my mum's tank. I've got it before it's gone in the river, but I'd like to put it into the bowl. And I'd like to say thank you for joining me with walking with care and respect on this good Wongal and Wiradjuri country.